It's a brand new season, it's a brand new start, and we have Champions League football this year. As always, if you have been enjoying the series up to this point, drop a like on the video. That would massively help out the channel. It's our third full season at Tromsø. It feels weird to be at a club for a little bit longer than normal. I suppose we were at that sort of length at Degerfors as well, but I think this season is kind of make or break for our tenure here, and I think it will heavily depend on what we're able to do in this transfer window and whether we're able to sort of keep the board at bay for that period. So more on that in a sec. In fact, more on that now. For those who missed the last video, our reward for getting Champions League football was to have our wage budget slashed and our transfer budget reduced to 0. Not that we had much transfer budget to begin with, I don't think, but nevertheless, we now have 0. So really, it is going to be a wheelie-dealy period where it's going to mostly rely on loan signings. And hopefully, I'm going to have to try to extend a lot of loan signings that we currently have, because we know that what they're already taking out of our wage budget. I want Windholm back. I want Bamba back, even if we're playing him in central midfield. Now, I do suspect that we'll still be able to pick up a couple of signings on account of the fact that a few players are retiring. Rip Kent. Sad to see him go, but he is leaving, and a few players will be ending their contracts as well. I was just looking through the squad, the actual stats at the end of the season, since we can actually see this at this point, because it's a nice little wrap-up point. You can see Windholm, 17 goals. It's pretty much exactly on the mark. He's just very strange in the fact that he blows so hot and cold, but I do still feel like I trust him to a certain extent. Indistad, you can see, still underperformed a little bit. Rakic, by a considerable amount. Christensen, literally double XG compared to his goals, and that's just not good enough. Valdo Bamba kind of hit the marks as well. Blad was underneath it. Grönbeck did okay. Lewisteen did all right as well, actually. I've got to say, 3 goals for Lewisteen this season from an XG of 1.49. There was little areas where we were clawing it back, but it just felt like certain players were just unable to find the net as much as you would like them to. I don't know what it is, honestly. I think this year, we could pretty much play the same squad, and if we play as well as we did for the second half of the season, I think we'd be right in the title race. It was just that opening part of the year where we were so underperforming in games and still getting a few results here and there that really did cost us on a goal scoring front. But as for our priorities in terms of transfers, well, we'll just look at squad depth. And the problem we've got really is, well, firstly, that right-hand side is absolutely imperative that we fix something out there with. Vasquez returning from his loan, we have to try and plug that hole. Kent's going to be gone as well, so there's going to be literally no one in that right wing-back spot. To me, that is the most important position in this team that needs to be filled right now. But I think our first port of call is to try to extend the loans that we need to. I've no idea how the fee for Saxton and Anderson is going to work. We might not even be able to pay it. I don't know if that's going to get us out of the transfer or not. That'll be interesting. What will the board do there, I wonder? Because I don't think we actually need Anderson, nor do I want to pay the money for him when he only started 2 games for us this season, and we've actually found better elsewhere. That was a regretful decision, but that was kind of based on the idea that we'd have more money. They're doing the whole give a chance in the first team. I really hope this doesn't happen. This would be devastating for us, because he has signed a new contract now. So that chance of us getting him has gone. Yeah, they ain't having none of this. This could be an issue, because we will not be able to afford another striker if he leaves. And that's a problem. On the plus side, though, Porto are going to let us have Valdo Bamba cheaper than that which they let us have him before. Is a great piece of business. That means we'd actually be paying less of his wage than we were before. Because I think we were paying full wages and some fees on top last season. So if we get Valdo Bamba back right now, worst case scenario, if Windholm leaves, Bamba can just play up front for us and hope for the best, because he's done okay this season. And I think just getting this done immediately would be sick. And it would get rid of the optional clause, which we'd never be able to pay anyway. Let's just do that. Speaking of bugs, actually, there has been another update to the game with some small bug fixes and some things that you'll notice more if you start new saves. There have been a few match engine changes, I believe, but it's probably minor. Hopefully there's a few other little bugs that have been fixed. So what are they expecting? Top half, 3rd qualifying round. Now, where do we go in then? So we go in 2nd qualifying round. And it has just literally occurred to me that we'd only have to win 1 tie in Europe in order to get ourselves qualified for the group stages of something. But that's for the future. That ain't now. That's not till mid-season. They've added in play defensively solid football, play possession football, play high-tempo pressing football. Now, obviously, some of these may be loosely based on the way we played this season, hopefully. And if they're not, then that's ridiculous, because it's like, why would the board suddenly announce that you have to play a different style of football to that which has got you the success? I assume these are based on the way we've played. Lewisteen continues to develop outrageously. This man is going to be a stunningly good footballer. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets in the Norway squad, honestly. Seriously, he's that good, and I can't wait to have him in our backline next year. Still got 2 years left on his contract. Might have to look at an extension for that during mid-season. We'll see what money kind of working with. So this is the kind of outgoing funds that we've got set up at the moment, because players retiring, players that weren't registered for the squad that are going to leave, players that again are either retiring or soon to be retiring as well. And a couple of these guys that I might have to have a little look at. But the key thing is we should definitely be able to rustle up some extra cash. Also, Kent Oriantonson should be on this list, but he's not for some reason, and I don't know why. But nevertheless, that's some money that's going to come in for us. Going to get them looking for a wingback, because that is main priority number. That's the priority number one, really. But one midfielder we could technically do without, but I hopefully will be able to find one, just because there's so many midfielders that are being released. But the wingback situation is imperative. Well. It actually worked. Valdo Bamba, going to be here next year on less money. I say on less money. I mean, if he doesn't play, obviously it's the same. But still, we're not paying the fees that we were last time. We paid 20 grand last time. That is actually extremely good. It makes me feel a lot better about the fact that we might not get Windholm back, because at the very least, we have a striker that can play in that role. And we've got plenty of midfielders should Bamba not be able to play there anyway. So that's actually not the end of the world. I still want to try and get Windholm back, but we may have to wait until after he leaves because reasons. So Bamba's back. Excellent news. Like, if I offer to pay his full wage, which I'm not allowed to do anymore, apparently... and then like an optional future fee that is reasonable, but we could... Well, actually, what about an optional future fee of his release clause? How about that? No. I won Manager of the Year. That's awesome. I was not expecting that. I just figured that, it would always go to the league winner, just because it always seems to, unless it's you. And there we go. Manager of the Year. And to be fair, that does seem fair. I don't know if we get any bump for that, but it is certainly a nice personal accolade. Oh, we do. We actually do. That's awesome. We got to 55% rep because of winning Manager of the Year. That's really nice. Combine that with the Continental A license soon, and we'll be cracking. It is annoying because I identified this striker, Lee Young. I mean, look at him. It's all I can say. Look at him. Like, how are we going to afford him? Hey, I ask you. Okay, so I've taken Ricardo Santos on trial from Sporting. The idea maybe that I can have a look at him and then look for a loan maybe. And the same thing applies to Sergio Luis, who plays for ATP, which I believe is Atletico Paranaense. Kent has finally retired as a footballer, which is a shame for him and a shame for us, but what a hero in the dressing room. Problem we might have as well, now losing our team leaders, is they're not going to be easily replaced, and it might even make it harder for us to hang on to players, which is the last thing we need when it's already tenuous. Making Indistad captain, though, probably wouldn't be the worst idea at this point. Lewisteen has committed to a new contract. It doesn't start, though, until January, so that's something. I mean, it just saves us a little bit of cash, but that's good because Juventus are interested in him, and getting him on a new deal as soon as possible is helpful. Well, looks like we're not locked out on that one, and we will be signing John Vettler, Stagstone Anderson. Don't know how much his wages are going to be when he joins us. I've actually forgotten. But financially... Well, I say financially it's good. It's not, though, because we've got negative transfer budget at the moment. I'm going to ask my Doff for some free transfer suggestions. Now that the release window essentially has happened, all the players that were going to be released by clubs in this nation have been released. So I'm going to ask him for just random suggestions for every position. Hopefully this should be good. Really? Not one. Really? Not one wingback? See if he's got any loans. No, don't be silly. End of contract? Oh, okay, he's found a couple. Or one. I asked my director of football for any potential contracts for wingbacks. He brings to me one guy who is already here on trial. Why, thank you, Lars. However, did you notice him? Just asked him for any general transfer options for those two roles. One of whom he suggested is Connor Roberts, who's 35 and on £23,000 a week at Hull City. Are you mental? All right, there's Ricardo Santos of Sporting. They turned down a bid from him. They want us to pay his wage, which is fine. They also want... £10 a month. Why £10 a month? Like, why specifically £10 a month? What difference is that going to make? Are you going to refill the drinks machines with it, Sporting? Oh, wow, that was just straight in there. Hey, we agreed 10. Where's that £11 come from, Sporting? Damn it. Oh, it's only 5 months as well. Brilliant. I mean, as it happens, he's come in and he's not awful. The problem we have is that he's only got a left foot. Although, the thing is, he's actually not bad. The tackling worries me a little bit, but I guess we're just going to have to make do in the fact that he's a wingback and hope that our other centre-backs can cover there. Because he actually does have very good dribbling and pretty solid crossing. He's quick, good determination. His passing isn't too bad either. Neither's his teamwork. Considered, he's okay. And for the price, I think it's the best we're going to get at this point. Iron-willed. Very rare that you see an iron-willed personality. Plus, we might be able to get him for free at the end of his contract. Slagsman Anderson's also here. Now... Thankfully, it's a low contract, but good lord. So we've had a better bid for Conte. It's more of his wages paid, basically, and I think the same monthly fees. Okay, a load of them have said yes. These are loads of, like, fullbacks that have been released. Fullbacks/wingbacks that have been released by their clubs. I just saw anybody that had the vaguest, like, idea of maybe a good attribute here or there. We're just going to take a little look at some of them. Maybe get lucky. Oh. Oh, we are screwed. He's a centre-back. Sorry. Hi, the board. Do you remember the part where we agreed a different club vision? Top half. End of current season, top half. Expectations in top 3 league. Which part of... So we've got no money, and they've now put requirements on us that we have to finish in the top 3, which, again, I think should be doable, should we hit our marks. But it's the fact that they've just randomly changed it. Cheers, lads. Is that because we won the cup? What are they on? Hi, Edward. I'd like a word. Can I have some of what you're smoking? It would be... Sounds amazing, honestly. Qualify for the Europa League. We won the cup last season, which I assume is why that's fulfilled that. We got the champion. All right, whatever. We move. Okay, newer contract for Lewerstein, so that should stop any transfer issues with that for the moment. So we actually do have 10 grand in wage budget to spend. It's just finding anyone to spend it on, I think, is our problem at the moment. We've got months to sort it out, but it does not look good. Loans are going to have to be the be-all and end-all here. I'm now just looking at any player who's available for loan. Hi, Lee Dilly of Chelsea. You're really good. Bet you'd come, wouldn't you? Yes. For only £18 million. Right, now looking specifically at homegrown players to potentially get in. Wrighton, where would he... Hello, fullback, wingback. Yes, yes. At Starbeck, even they want 250 grand. So Conte's completed his move, which is good. That helps us out on money even more, but I still can't touch it. Basically, I would like to move some of it over into... Yeah, so we can't make any transfer. I wonder how this... The only thing we've got on our side at the moment is that the board have not sold any of our players from us. That's the one thing that they've not done. My client isn't interested in speaking to Inter. What a lovely day to be alive. There you go, some good news. And to be fair, to an extent, I can understand why Starbeck wouldn't want to loan us one of their players for no cost, essentially, even if we were just paying his wages, because they are a rival with us for the league. So that would actually make sense. But that does kind of leave us with virtually no avenues with which to loan players that doesn't cost us more than it would be to just sign the players, which of course we can't do. Indistad, okay, good news, everybody. Michael Indistad is now capable of placing his shots. I've been trying to find a way to enable him to maybe get a bit more out of his finishing, and I wonder if placing his shots would help him a little bit more, because he does have good composure, and I think that might allow us a little bit more, because he just misses too many chances, and he does like to go around the keeper, placing his shots. Those are things I think we need on him, just to try and get him to at least play to his XG. We better hope that this year's youth intake is an absolute cracker, I suppose. We've got that to hope for. I don't even remember what the preview said, honestly, because I've stopped looking at them. Well, I mean... There's our youth intake. And as it goes, to be fair, the best player in it is a ball-winning midfielder. He's not great. And ironically, the next best guy actually could be a wing-back. Prayers answered is kind of like a monkey's paw kind of situation, isn't it? Where the prayers have been answered, but we were never going to get a youth intake like last year. Let's have a look. Sondre Falkenberg. 15. All right, 15 tackling is actually very, very good for the... He's literally got the same... That means by the time he's 30, he'll have 30 tackling. That's how it works, right? Yeah, mentals aren't great, but he's only 15, obviously. Physicals aren't great either, and he's only 5'6". But at the very least, he does have extremely good tackling, and not bad for a ball-winning midfielder, honestly. And Kenny Nordheim, to be honest with you, right? He's not even that bad. Talk about prayers being answered. Need a ball-winning midfielder and a right wing-back. And who are our best two players in the youth intake? A ball-winning midfielder and a right wing-back. Well, you couldn't have just written that, could you? He's actually got pretty good mentals as it goes. Not the greatest in terms of his physicals at the moment, but crossing and dribbling are okay for his age. Good tackling, great work rate as well. No strength, of course, but that's the sort of thing that can come in time. And out of interest, there's also this guy, Christopher Antonio Henriksen, who... arguably is better than the other two. Well, certainly better than the last guy in terms of for his actual role, but still, that's actually 3 solid players that we've got in that youth intake. So, okay. Not bad, actually, as it goes. I'm happy with that. I am kind of tempted to pick up Tobias Hafstad because he would go straight into our squad. He probably wouldn't want lots of money. He can at least cover as a ball-winning midfielder. He's right-footed, can play wing-back as well if we need him to. Got great natural fitness, actually. No jumping reach on him, sadly, but good consistency. Does have injury proneness and big match. If we can get him cheap enough, I'm signing him. £1,500 a week as an emergency backup. 1,500. Estimated wage was £300 to £400, and we've had him on trial for the last 4 weeks. 850. That seems way too much. Oh god. Meanwhile, Strømsgodset are buying this guy off of Starbeck, and there's nothing we can do about it. I'd have happily taken him, but we can't afford him. So, okay, so just to clarify, I literally cannot sign anybody at all, no matter what, because every single transfer, even if it's a free transfer, comes with like little bits and bobs when you have to sign them. But because of the negative transfer budget, which they won't let me move any wage budget into, we are literally not allowed to sign anybody anymore. Now, obviously, signing a guy with a mandatory future fee like that was a bit silly on my part, particularly, and I regret it now. But would you believe I didn't imagine that, given that we had £600,000 in transfer budget and an increased wage budget from a season of coming 6th, I kind of just figured that getting in the Champions League would probably allow us enough wiggle room to maybe sign a player. I don't know. Call me crazy. I've unironically just put a loan bid in for Sasha Angelkovic. That's how desperate I am. I just offered Chukwuemeka a 5 million optional fee, and they still want me to pay them money for a playing monthly fee for a player that is literally not playing for them. There's this guy at Molde. He's listed for loan. He's nation trained in Norway. They want 600k from him for the season, except Real Sociedad. They might. 4 players in their underrated. Oh, God. Good God. Ricardo Santos. He's a right wing back. Well, he's a right back, but presumably he could be okay. Maybe. Yes. 6 months. Give me 12, just in case. It's worth a go. Just to see what he's like. He could be better than the other guy, and then we can just register him instead. Well, he's coming in. Fingers crossed, eh? This is going to be a disaster, isn't it? What do you reckon? C-? The fans hate it because he's taking a place away from the youth team? Yeah. Doesn't look ready for first team football yet. Might agree on that one. Disappointed that a young player has been brought in on loan at the potential expense of the club's own prospects. Okay, cool. Which one? Name them. Tell me their name. I dare you. Right, okay, let's have a look. He's fine. He's also 6'4", 12 tackling. Off the ball is dreadful. Great work rate, though. Good bravery, good aggression. He's more of a centre-back, honestly. But he can't head the ball, hilariously. Marking's actually not too bad either. His positioning's fine. His crossing and dribbling aren't even that bad either. Oh, they are very different players, aren't they? Very different indeed. Work rate much better on Ricardo Santos. Santos. Oh, wait, they're both called Santos. This does not help. I don't know. Who do you prefer, Santos or Santos? Can I have both? Can I do both? Hang on, transferring to who? Oh, you bastards. You bastards. If I can just keep Ricardo Santos happy for the first half of the season where I don't register him, he can then slot straight in the second half of the season when the other Santos buggers off some Molde. I'm an idiot. I've just noticed we had a spare slot. Don't know how. I think Conte must have been registered or something and it just wasn't maybe hidden here or something. Maybe it's because he was unavailable or something. So it's the Super Cup. I'm not going to bore you with watching amazingly lengthy highlights because we are going to start properly with the first league game of the season. I want to make sure we get up to that point. I'm just trying to pick a team for this game. Let's see what we got. Maya or Gabriel Cern. Oh, it's a good goal. Mateus Farnes Gabrielson. We made some subs and they took the throw in while our subs were still sort of coming onto the pitch a bit weirdly there, but it's 1-0 Molde. 90th minute. Can we dig out an equaliser or something? Oh, Industad's there, you know. Bamba! Well, easy as you like. Tromsø 1, Molde 1. We've deserved that. We've been just as good as them today, and that was a lovely link up with the 2 strikers. Bamba gets his first of the year. Great work, lads. Oh, it goes straight to pens. That's annoying. We were probably the better side on the night in the end. This will, of course, be a while. Good pen. 1-0 Molde. Christensen for us. Saved. It's probably had it. Rekdal. Good save from the youngster. I say good save. It's hit it right at him. Scorer of the goal, Valdo Bamba. Good finish, and we're level. Gonzalez now for Molde. Good pen. Oh, all right, fine. Bearfax. You've won me over. It's Bearfax time. What are we going for? Ooh. All right, here you go. Running. Bears and running. Bears, with the exception of the giant panda, run quite well. They are fast and agile, though their speed is maintained only for short distances. Hopefully, Michael Lindstad can... Oh, God, we continue. Jonas Lewestein for us. Saved. Finally, we can end this misery. A bit unlucky, honestly, in terms of the match. I think we'll skip through this. We don't care. So as you can see, I think we were a little bit unfortunate to perhaps not do better in the actual match once again. But once again as well, showing this kind of quality against teams like Molde makes me hopeful for this season. Don't you love it when you're losing out on players to the likes of Mjøndalen of the second tier? That's the level we're at now. I think I might have managed to figure it out. Too late, probably, but this could well do it for us. If we lower all the squad win bonuses for stuff, we would actually get our transfer budget situation sorted. I don't think it would make much difference anymore, but it would be worth it probably. You see, now they'll let me move it. Now they'll let me move the transfer budget over. I'm going to try to get Julian Johnson on loan from Molde for the season because he's got really good attributes. Most importantly, he can tackle, and he might be enough in that midfield to actually have someone there that can just win the ball back a bit easy. It's the one problem we've had. He's not exactly a ball-winning midfielder by any means, but he can tackle, and his marking and positioning might be all right. Ooh, good news. Jonas Lewestein is number 7 on the next-gen list. That's how good he is rated. Number 7. We've got a homegrown player that came through our youth academy. Number 7. Okay, it didn't fall through. Julian Johnson is in. We're paying his full, well, not his full wages. We're paying, I think, 80% of his wages, and then a playing monthly fee on top of that to top it up to meet the wage amount, which is not what I really wanted to do. But I just wanted to bring in a guy who can play both roles in our midfield, and I feel like he is exactly that kind of guy because he can tackle, he can mark to a certain extent, his passing's all right, he's got great physicals to go with it. I actually do think he's not a good piece of business because it just isn't, but at the very least, we've got a guy that can sit in both of those positions as well, because we just really have struggled finding one that can tackle in our midfield. So Julian Johnson might well give us that little edge, and he's really quite decent, actually. Opening day of the season, away at Mulder, again. We played really well against them in the Super Cup final. I think we were the better side throughout the match, and probably could have won it in the end if the Ingestad hadn't missed that chance late on. This is tough. I wouldn't be disappointed with the lads if we lost this match, provided we look good while doing it, really. We want to look good. As for how we're going to line up, that is a different question. Particularly as Dida and Lewenstein are suspended for the first game of the season. Good lord, I forgot about that. Right, okay, who's playing? So that'd be Solskjaer and it's not the end of the world, actually. The rest of the team, though, that's fine. Johnson can come in. Ricardo Santos on that right-hand side, but that means we've got Lander Santos on the bench as well. What the hell? Hang on a minute. Let me just turn on the under-19. Oh, we actually have. Such is the level of players that we have suspended and injured for the first game of the season, even though I've managed to register 27 out of 30 for the squad. Well, you know, it's not always the perfect start. That's just how bad it is with all the injuries and suspensions at the start of the year. And that's with the under-19 squad turned on to allow us to... Oh, hang on a minute. Wait, hang on. There might be some... Is there any second teamers? Or third? Nope, literally. Some of them that were registered from the lower squads, like our new youngsters, they're also not available either. Presumably because they already had a match this day. I might have to get those both in the first team permanently. That is incredible. Not ideal, but the actual squad itself is pretty strong. So that's what we're going to rely on, hopefully. This is going to be fascinating to see how the Strike Force do today, really. They need to do better than last time. Death row. Oh, so some nice football. Finn sets into the box. Don't foul him. Stay on your feet. That's good. Shepherd him out wide. Nice work. Ball in. Gonzalez. Oh, dear. Gonzalez to the back post. It's 1-0 Mola. Diego Gonzalez with the goal. And it's just, yeah, we started okay, and now it's just gone to shit. Good ball in, though. Providing a little bit of space for the central midfielders to work in. Nice. Bamba. Let's keep this ball moving. Oh, look at this for football. Santos. Ingestad. If this leads to something, my goodness. Oh, my God. Oh, nice work. Nice build-up. Good stuff. That's better. Johansson going long. That's unfortunate. Unless Bamba can win this, which he does. Brilliantly takes it on the chest. He's going to have to shoot, and he does. It's just over the bar. Well, half-time, we've been garbage, to be honest. We got a little bit better towards the end of the half, but that was not good from us. For Sharon, they're just playing through. There we go. Better. Solskjaer nipping in there. Bambo's got to drop the short. Or could go alone, actually. He's going to lose the ball, isn't he? Oh, my lord. Why are you shooting from there? And now for the second consecutive match, Santos is going to go off injured. That is not a good sign, and it's probably about time we made some subs anyway. Arguably, we've actually got worse in the second half, sadly. The sort of... The green shoots we saw towards the end of the first half have completely evaporated in this second period. Good save again from Johansson. At least he's looking stable at the back. Nothing he could have done about their goal. And now Riedingen's been an absolute mug. With 10 seconds left, he's decided to get suspended as well, which is just for... Because, you know, what we really need right now is suspensions after one match of the season. Melon. Were we to have looked like we were even involved in a football match, but it appears that nobody really bothered to turn... No shots on target. That didn't happen in a single match last season. And in our first game of the brand new year, we come and pull that crap out. Now, admittedly, Mulder were much better than us in general tonight, but we just had nothing for them. And that does not bode well for this season, that they've really turned up here. Now, it's really a bad litmus test. But then if you're going to compete for a title, these are the games you have to turn up in. We look like a relegation threat inside, honestly. But that's how it goes. And he's out for 7 weeks. Well, not the start that we wanted, losing to Mulder twice. That gave me hope. Playing like that in the cup final definitely made me feel good about our chances, and I think we probably could have won on the night, which, again, I've got to get that back into my head. We looked very good in that game specifically. It was at home, as it goes, but nevertheless, I think there's confidence to be had there. We just got to get going on it and hope that by the time European football rolls around, we're in a bit more of a comfortable position right now. By the time that we'd got that situation to be able to sort the transfer situation out, it was already too late because all the good free players had gone. Not that there was that many anyway, but there you go. So, this is going to be a long, tough season for us here, but we've got European football to look forward to, and I really do think we've got to hang our hat on that this year and hope that the guys can get themselves going and get us up for that European football. So, if you've enjoyed this, this is going to be a hell of a year. Drop a like, that would be gorgeous. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be sick too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, so go follow there too, and I'll see you guys very soon, as hopefully we can try and get some wins together. Luckily, it's odds at home. We've got some newly promoted sides in there too. It should calm down a bit, hopefully. I'll see you soon. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.